Hello, builders and innovators, and welcome back to another episode of our series of how to launch a Web3 startup, your exclusive 101 guide for launching a Web3 startup. So, guys, this video is brought to you by Web3 Today. Web3 Today is building the Wikipedia of Web3, and it is one of the most rewarding and innovative learn to earn media platform. So in this video, we are going to basically talk about the importance of market research and how right market research can reduce significantly your risk of failure and can also give you more insights about your customers and your community, right? So this is a very beautiful quote from Anita Roddick, and we are here to unlock the power of market research for Web3 startup. Market research in Web3 startup is of course very complicated because you have very limited data points. There is very limited set of information which is available, and also the information is little bit difficult to consume because it is driven at all levels. It's driven at technological level, it is driven at customer level, it is driven at users level, it is driven at transactional level. So it has several components to it, and doing a right market research is super critical for your Web3 startup, right? So there are four important elements which we need to understand right about market research. Is that market research helps you understand the right business idea which is reliable to the market. It provides an approximate picture and the value of your business. So why understanding the value of your business is important? Because when you go out and raise money, you need to know the value of your equity, you need to know the value of your idea, you need to know how investors evaluate your idea. So because you can retain as much equity as possible. Goal of every entrepreneur is to retain as much equity as possible, and that is only possible if you know the true picture of your idea, and the same you can communicate it effectively to your investors, to your stakeholders, and to your community. So you need to know that how big is your idea and what is the vision behind it, and what is the level we are basically looking at. So having the right picture is absolutely important and critical because it helps you unlock true value of your startup, and also of course it will help you to bring early investors by increasing chances of your success, right? So the first thing is that understanding your target audience in the Web3 ecosystem. So you need to know super specifically about your audience persona, right? Here you cannot go by a traditional audience persona methodology where you would want to know that, okay, what they do, what they eat, what they consume, etc., because you have lot of information around them available in the traditional world. But when we talk about Web3, it is super narrowed down, as because there are like very limited users within the ecosystem, which means there is very limited amount of data which is available out there. So the biggest question is, how would you determine who your audiences are, how your product looks like, how to attract early users, what their demographics and behaviors and preferences are. So you need to do a very extensive research, and that is only possible if you're connected at a ground level, if you're part of a various community. You can find a lot of communities on Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, and also Slack. You can see what problems people are talking about, right? Just to give you an example, like when you go onto a Telegram room of Polygon, you would see people actually talking about a lot of things what Polygon can do to improve its ecosystem. You can find a lot of ideas there. You can see what are the things people are looking at, because a lot of people would also comment about the problems, people would also comment about the solutions, and who knows, you can also DM them personally, tag along with them, and build a new startup which is actually solving problems. So here you need to actually get connected at the grassroots level. You need to get connected with the people, you need to talk to them, you need to be very, very effective communicator, and also need to be very open about understanding the ideas, right? I have seen a lot of people, they actually lose patience because the technical journey onto the Web3 is like quite tough, and you need to spend a lot of time doing the research, understanding, processing it, and then thinking from a problem perspective, because by the time you reach here, you would have like actually spent a lot of time, and just a theoretical knowledge is not enough, because you also need to have a practical knowledge. You need to know how to use dApps, you need to know how to connect wallet, you need to know what airdrops are, you need to know a lot of glossaries and a lot of basic definitions about Web3. And to make sure that users have, people and the community have a very easy time to understand, we have launched Web3 101, which talks about the complete glossary and definitions about Web3. We also have a lot of reports around different technologies and how it can impact Web3. We have reports like the open source reports from the top institutions globally. We have data bank on Web3. So guys, I would request you to please go through that and read from it. We are also curating exclusive content and video library for you to get more insights in the form of video, which can help you to understand more about it. So we are here to make your learning process and journey much easier. So moving on to the competitor analysis in the Web3 ecosystem, right? You need to identify your direct and indirect competitors, because your competition exists at all the levels. It exists at technical level, marketing level, and also community level. You need to also build a loyal community for your idea. You need to tag along with some of the community leaders who can actually help you identify the problem. And you also need to know your strength, right? Like some people could be amazing with the technology, they could be hands-on developing applications, but you might not be hands-on in marketing and being a very effective communicator. Because when you launch your idea or your startup or a product, you need to make sure that you connect with the community at the initial level, and give them a purpose and a clear understanding of why you exist and how you are benefiting to them. And if you see some of the videos of Steve Jobs, where he talks about the importance of marketing, right? He talks about why Apple is so different from rest of the other customers, because Apple has been so effective in communicating their values, communicating to the world why they exist, and communicating to them why they would continue to exist. So these are very important points to understand, right? And also you need to do SWOT analysis of yourself before you do the SWOT analysis of product or your competitors or their services, because unless and until you do a SWOT analysis for yourself, you really don't know how revolutionary or how disruptive you could be in that particular domain. Because you also need to have right knowledge along with the right passion, and also timing matters a lot, guys, right? Like, as I've been telling you that Bitcoin wasn't really successful in the few years of its launch, but it became successful from like 2015 and 2016. Community started to improve because of Ethereum, right? Ethereum contributed a lot towards the Bitcoin success and also towards the mass adoption, because when Ethereum was launched, it targeted people who knew what was the technical problem with the blockchains, who knew the potential of blockchains, and there were a very limited set of people. But these group of people exploded because this community focused on spreading the right information. This community always stayed true to their values. This particular community always communicated one single message, that why they exist and why they would continue to exist, right? And because your USP and your differentiating factor, you need to always keep on building, because this landscape changes very fast, right? And you need to find a very distinctive USP, and that can only be determined if your values are communicated right. Because in this community, and when we talk about Web3 being an open source community, Web3 is also driven a lot by the face of the companies who are founders. So it's also a founder driven community. It's also a founder driven company. You have to be super duper connected with the community. You need to communicate your values so well to them that you would definitely continue to exist even if you don't have much technical edge towards your competitors, right? So guys, in past few years, I have seen so many projects, and I have seen so many projects evolving, and some of the projects becoming so big, specifically Binance, because Binance always did the right thing, being the exchange. They always stood for their ethics, and today you see that Binance is massively successful than their competitors, and they have the highest market share, right? So guys, also you need to make sure that how you gather and analyze data, because there is a lot of technical data which you need to be gathering. You need to be a little bit technically sound in order to get data for your Web3 startup or for a Web3 company. And there are like a lot of tools, because we talk about a lot of on-chain metrics, we talk about active wallet users, we talk about transaction speed, we talk about so many different technical terminologies. So there are some of the top tools like Messari, Nansen, DappRadar, Signum and DeepDAO, which can help you to make effective research, right? So DeepDAO can help you know more about DAOs and help you study the successful DAO models, and at the same time also help you to understand DAOs which actually failed massively as well. And then you have DappRadar to look into a lot of decentralized apps which are being launched and which has a very active community. It will help you to get a lot of on-chain data and analytics. So guys, you need to be on a continuous journey of educating yourself, and that's the right way to get market data, because improvement is a continuous process. When you're out there, you're just not just building a service company, but you're building a product company, and specifically you're building a Web3 company and into a domain and territory which is actually continuously evolving. So I'm going to talk about some of the successful case studies and very simple and powerful ideas and how they became massively successful. So of course, the nature of the business of Uniswap is decentralized exchange. Decentralized exchanges as an idea always existed, right? So decentralized exchanges are exchanges where people can transact without having any intermediary. So let's say traditionally you would want to buy a stock, you would go to Robinhood or you would go to Zerodha, and then there's a broker. But Uniswap is a platform which is driven and governed by community, and it does not act like a broker. It directly facilitates transactions between user to user in a most trust efficient and most cheapest way. So one of the key problems which they identified, that the exchange market was using traditional order books, meaning since crypto was lot unregulated, there were a lot of dumb market manipulation, etc., and you can only see the data which is shown to you by these exchanges. You actually cannot really verify the data. So Uniswap said that, okay, you know what, let there be an exchange where user can actually verify data on chain. They can actually go into the wallet addresses and see the real transaction data, can see the liquidity pool available, and they can make calculated decisions. And they build a new technology which is called automated market maker. Automated market maker always existed, but Uniswap implemented with the right technology and with the right combination. They went after the user needs, and they realized that yes, there is a problem with traditional exchange model because they are less transparent and they basically manipulate the markets. So let there be an exchange which is like open source, which is governed by the users, which is governed by the Uniswap token holders, and which exists for the purpose of community, and where users can come and they can build any kind of use cases, experiment with them, and then can invite people to be the part of the community. And another very amazing example is OpenSea. OpenSea is a digital asset marketplace or an NFT marketplace, right? They identified a problem that these digital assets are not seamlessly traded, meaning your artworks and all your real world assets or your tokenized assets are not seamlessly tradable, right? So they created a marketplace, an NFT marketplace, where users can trade their digital assets, right? They could trade their tokens with one and another, particularly their NFTs, and they basically build an Amazon for the digital asset marketplace. Anyone having a MetaMask or any decentralized wallet can become a part of it, or any person having a Web3 wallet can become a part of it and can start trading it. And then Mirror is again a very classic example, because Mirror focused on solving a problem of bringing real world assets onto the blockchain. They identified that transacting assets in the real world, like selling or buying houses, is very complicated. There are a lot of issues around the trust and things like that, and blockchain can be used to solve a lot of these problems. And they created a platform where these assets can be tokenized, and it enables easier transfer of real world assets. So guys, wrapping up, your strong results are dependent on your strong foundation of your market research and your analysis. It helps your team to move in the right and the focused direction. You are very much focused on what problems to be solved. But please always remember that the markets in the Web3 ecosystem are evolving at a very rapid pace, and even after your startup or product is launched, never move away from innovation, never move away from finding and implementing new ideas, and be always fierce and be always active active, innovative, and be fearless, guys. So thank you so much, and looking forward to see you in the next video where I talk about identifying and building the right business model for your Web3 startup. And this would include all kinds of revenue model, business infrastructure, pricing strategies, your tokenomics, and a lot of amazing insights with the core components of building a right business model. So thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one, and please do comment below if there's anything you would want to know or any topic which you want me to talk about. And I'm looking forward to engage with you more and more and connect with you more and more. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.